Do you know in 1985, Jason Alexander did a McDonald's commercial? And his character in that is actually more likable than Bob Patterson.
Welcome to Bottle
Welcome to
Episodes.
Bottle Episodes. Hello, welcome to Bottle Episodes. I'm Daniel Crow.
I'm David Piccolomini. And
We've got a guest.
Gus Tate, hello. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
So welcome to Bottle Episodes. This is the podcast where we watch a bad TV show and then we watch the first episode, the pilot, and then the top-rated episode on IMDb to see if it got any better. And this week we're doing Jason Alexander's post-Seinfeld breakout, Bob Patterson.
Breakout is like a set of hives breakout?
Yeah. Yeah, he broke out in hives after this in the industry. No, he got another one after this pretty quickly. 2004, Listen Up.
Yeah, not as a result of this.
No, it's all Seinfeld.
He was still
days.
riding goodwill from Seinfeld.
And just from being Jason Alexander. Jason Alexander was like, I feel like out of all the Seinfeld people, he was the most established before.
Yeah, I just talked about the McDonald's commercial he did. People had...
Pretty Woman? Or was that after?
That was during Seinfeld.
That was during Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Maybe he wasn't that established. I have no idea, actually. It is funny, though, because he just looks...
What if you look it up now and you're like, whoa, 4 Tony Awards prior to Seinfeld?
I mean, that's possible, though.
Yeah.
That would be... Pretty Woman is 90, and Seinfeld started in 89.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was during Seinfeld.
Yeah, but, like, barely. That wasn't, like, Jason Alexander being famous.
Listen, I win this argument on a technicality, and I will not back down.
Perfect. This is the way to start a podcast. Yeah. This is about as many jokes as Bob Patterson started with.
You know, it has a joke that I actually really liked.
Oh,
okay.
Which one?
When he meets his new secretary, and she's in a wheelchair, and she says, "Oh, sorry, I'm still getting used to the wheelchair. I've only been in it 6 months." And he goes, "Do you mind if I asked what happened?" And she goes, "Oh, it's fine. I lost the use of my legs."
That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
It's a good joke.
That was a good joke.
I thought you were going to say when he sees her wheel in and he goes, "Oh, no, this isn't going to work."
Oh, no, I got very uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was so
that
bad.
joke was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, before he had been in a bunch of random stuff. He had been in like one TV series and stuff. He was probably the most established of that. Oh, an old ER series. Nothing to do with the original.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
that one is just about suffixes.
Bob Patterson, Jason Alexander is he's a self-help. He's the third most successful self-help guru.
A joke which I'm sure they
speaker.
thought was a lot funnier than it was in the writer's room.
Yeah. Well, he talks about in that interview, in that like big long American Film Institute interview, in his 7 minutes about Bob Patterson, he's like, it had a great premise. Like I was in love with it. It was pitched to him by somebody that had worked on Star Trek. And he was like a self-help guru that can't help himself. Like I loved it.
I mean, it isn't a bad,
Yeah.
like that is a very normal,
I can
like,
see how it could have been an amazing show.
Well, I will say, I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as its reputation would suggest. It has 6 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
what do you mean? Like 6%?
6%.
Yeah, it's not a 0.
It's not a 6%.
Yeah.
No, not even a little bit. This is, I mean, it's a little standard, if not like, I'm trying to think of what makes it stand out as boring.
This is a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's what this is.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
there's a lot of that weird, like, I think people are trying to, like, because Seinfeld was so edgy for the time,
Mm-hmm.
they want to give people these edgy plots, but it was so anchored in Larry David being a very good curmudgeon to, like, anchor those unlikable plots.
Yeah, and Jerry Seinfeld being likable. But I don't think this didn't have a likable...
And is Jerry Seinfeld
Jerry.
super likable? Is that like...
I think so. I mean...
Compared to the side characters.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. But he's almost bland in the show.
He seems bland now, but I think he was like... I think at the time he anchored it. And Elaine was likable. And Kramer was likable in his own way.
So everyone but Jason Alexander was
Yeah.
likable.
Yeah, well...
But also, what I mean by that is they're all likable, but they're all selfish, bad people who are mean and, like, turn on each other at a moment's
Yeah.
notice, will sell each other out for, like,
Right.
a convenience.
Yeah. I also think there's, like, a lot of shows from this era were just bad. And we have to, like, remember that as we look at this, like, this maybe was particularly bad. But when you start watching it and you're like, you know, there's the laugh track and there's the, like... like 90s references and stuff. It's tempting to be just like, ugh.
There's a real pre 9/11 sense of complacency in this show.
Didn't it come out like October 2001?
October 2nd.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Well, America was not ready to laugh.
Yeah.
What was also really funny, that was maybe the reviews were like, at a time like this, Jason Alexander, come on, that's what you want to do.
Right. But
People were this is probably a 45% show graded on a 9/11 curve.
Yeah.
yeah, the first joke, like after as they're watching, the promo with John Tesh and stuff, and he's like, his manager is like, well, they got tricks like the Matrix. They're clearly like trying to call out pop references, and he's like, I don't want to look like I'm jumping over him. I just want to look like I'm not giving him a Lewinsky.
Hilarious.
Yeah, which is just like, what, because you're short and he's tall, so you're like at blowjob height or something?
Yeah, I mean that's a fairly standard joke.
I don't know.
I mean that joke feels old now, especially as like you got to remember, even in 2001, Lewinsky jokes were flying.
Yeah, that's true.
That was still like 90s comedians weren't updating their act.
Right.
You know what is weird about that Matrix part though? Because he says John Tesh is too tall compared to him in this video. And then they're like, oh, they'll just do Matrix computer stuff to make it look fine. That's clearly a setup for later on. You need to see the video and it looks terrible with like bad special effects. But that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
Yeah, John Tesh shows up
John Tesh shows up
to look at it, and then they don't
look
watch
at
it.
the video, but we don't see it.
Right.
We need to see some of the video where John Tesh is like, I didn't remember you being that tall or something. And then we just see a poorly CG'd tall Jason Alexander.
It's Jason Alexander with like paint, like MS Paint style, like pant legs all the way up.
Yeah. It's also, I noticed, like, and I'm sure this is the case with a lot of shows, how big the sets were. Like,
you're going to say how big Jason Alexander. Not looking too good, Jason.
No. I mean, just how big the sets are and how they have to, like, sort of stage themselves in unnatural ways that they never do anymore. Like, characters have to be like, now, wait a minute, and, like, get on the couch.
Direct over to, and like, you can feel the blocking on it.
Yeah. And his apartment is huge. The office is huge. They all have to like when something happens in the break room. Oh yeah, when they throw something at a handicapped lady, they all have to like, in the most contrived of, like, oh, let's see if she's anchoring herself on the sink. Should I throw something at her? No. And then like he just chucks a mug.
Things are thrown at disabled people in both of the episodes we watched.
Oh really?
Yes.
That's funny. In the Pussycat Dolls?
No.
In the other episode of this.
Oh really?
Awards Bob.
Oh wait, no, maybe that's what I was referencing.
No,
Wait.
you're right.
They throw something
a baseball.
Yeah,
they throw
yeah.
a baseball at the.
Yep. We'll talk about it. Yeah, but
That's
just that's a trademark of this show.
Yeah.
Things thrown at the disabled.
yeah.
Right.
Jason Alexander loves beating up the disabled, which is funny because legally he's too short.
Yeah.
Hey.
Actually, what is he, like 5'4"?
Well, next to John Tesh.
I wonder. Yeah, how tall is Jason Alexander? Does anybody have any idea?
5'5".
Great.
3'2".
But yeah, like when that happens, and then they all have to like gather on one corner of the office as if they were in a different room, but they're not. They're just right there,
Just pretending like they're somewhere else.
Yeah, and also how you never see anyone's close-up facial reaction. Maybe that's just how shows were back then, but like now in TV shows, like you get to see characters be like, and like, and there's just big, huge group shots and like large gesticulations.
Well, I think
it's like a theater.
I'm
show.
thankful for the lack of close-up on Jason Alexander's face
Well,
for what it's worth.
Well, yeah.
well, I guess it's weird, like, because I think you're just describing the difference between like a multicam and a single cam.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Because you're like, they do all these playing things. I'm like, oh, in front of an audience. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The whole, like, well, and I feel like modern multicams still do a lot of that stuff. But I guess we don't, it's kind of fallen out of favor for the most part. And there's still, I guess, but like, how does this show compare to like the Big Bang Theory in terms of like, in terms of look?
Exactly the same watching it.
Yeah.
Right. But that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the difference between, I wonder if that's the difference between like a bad show that's successful and a bad show that's unsuccessful is like, just how much the audience likes the characters.
Yeah, it's unclear to me why this lasted 5 episodes and the Big Bang Theory lasted 500.
9/11 mostly. I'm gonna take a wild. It was funny though because
the Big Bang Theory did address it better.
You remember the Big Bang Theory's 9/11 episode? 2 towers minus 3? I don't know what that meant.
Yeah, I don't either.
I was trying to do a math joke, but I'm not as smart as the writers of the Big Bang Theory. So the thing with the pilot, or like the whole thing of it, it's just they're not likable, and like he's not trying to play a likable character at all. He's like pretty shitty.
Yeah.
He's actively like he's got an ex-wife that he.
I think that's the thing. They want the audience. The executives think the audience will relate to him because they think the audience also hates their wife. They're banking on that.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like this is sort of like how after like Pulp Fiction, everybody tried to make action movies about like hitmen that sort of banter with each other. They're funny and likable, even though they're killers, but they just didn't. So they came out with all these shows where we're like, bam, and then like, hey, wasn't that fun? And it just didn't have the heart that Pulp Fiction had somehow.
Pulp Fiction is like, it's all the time trial, like they're doing like all the multiple timelines and all this other great. Like Pulp Fiction is like, it is that weird thing of like, that's what they took. It's kind of like how the Barbie movie got successful this year, and everybody was just like, oh, let's make more Mattel movies.
Oh, like more toy movies?
Yeah. They're like, that's obviously Speak and Spell is the future.
But I feel like a similar thing is happening here with this and Seinfeld, where they were like, oh, that was a show about assholes that everyone loved. Like, let's let this guy be an asshole. And
Jason Alexander and Robert Klein. Although Robert Klein is a very funny stand-up comedian and generally good actor.
That. Yeah. But he was, wait, can we talk about how he had to fuck the old lady?
Well, let's save it for the bottom of
no spoilers.
No, we can talk about
it.
Just
talking about his day-to-day life. This is something that happened to him that he had to do to get ahead.
I didn't
in the
realize
industry.
we were on a structured.
Well, I guess let's talk about the pilot.
Okay, sure.
Because this one does have, unlike the Pussycat Dolls, this one has narrative structure.
Yeah.
So let's so Bob, he's stuck in a rut. He can't get out of it. He's just kind of like existing as this guy, and he's like, you need to get your new book out. So you got to write like 25 pages.
He needs to write a speech.
Right.
For this big talk he's doing at a convention center.
Where he's going to lie on a bed of nails.
Well, no, that comes later in the episode.
Okay.
One of the guys that works for him is like, you need a gimmick. Everybody's doing gimmicks.
He's like, okay, I'll do a gimmick. So he's writing a speech about a gimmick.
Well, actually, the first thing in the episode is the video with John Tesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something I thought was confusing is how that's what he's trying to do throughout the whole episode is to write, and everyone keeps interrupting him. Like he can't get any work done because, John Tesh is there, and the water lady's trying to
hot water
lady's trying to show him naked pictures of herself, and he's like, I don't want to see these. Which is weird because he was the one, he crossed over just to see that, and then he tries to pawn it off on John Tesh, like, that was weird.
I expected her to be back in the other episode.
Yeah.
I think she's just a one-episode character.
Maybe. But anyway, the whole point of the thing is he's trying to write this thing, and he can't get anything done. He's stuck on the first sentence. And then there's this weird cut where the Robert Klein comes in and he picks up the thing and reads it, and it's like, this is the best thing you've ever written since. And it's like, wait, when did he
never
write?
Wrote it? Yeah.
When did he? Like there was no and then time passed. Just somehow he managed to write.
He just shot 25 pages out of his asshole.
Yeah, that was very confusing.
It's also like a 25-page speech. It is like,
yeah.
He really goes for it, and it, like that's like the whole idea is he's doing like an hour-long presentation, I guess.
Yeah. With
a new speech? Is that how motivational speakers work?
Well, if everyone in that audience has already been motivated by him before.
Gotta have a new, it's like stand-up.
Yeah.
You can't do the same hits of motivation. You gotta.
Yeah. He that was when he realized that he needed his ex-wife back in his life because she inspired him to write whatever it was.
Yeah, so we've skipped.
Sorry. Yeah,
no, it's fine. It all blends together really. So Bob Patterson, he's trying to get past his ex-wife who's left him for good. She's not there anymore. She's gone off to like Morocco or somewhere to get fucked for 9 months, which is that's weirdly common.
Yeah.
Like the wife leaves because she's so sexually frustrated that she goes somewhere else to just have crazy amounts of sex.
Wasn't that from the movie? What's the movie with Jason Segel and he goes to Hawaii?
Forgetting Sarah
Marshall. Yeah.
It's also
it just keeps happening to Jason's.
Yeah.
It happens in Brockmire.
Not a Jason.
No, not a Jason.
It happens to Jason Bourne.
I think he's actually Jay. He's like Jay Richard Greenspan or something.
Oh my God.
Jason Alexander's real name is Jay Allen Greenspan, and then somehow he wanted a more like a less Jewy.
He didn't want to be Jay Greenspan?
Yeah, and he somehow got Jason Alexander out of it. I don't remember that. Anyway, fun fact: he's not a Jason. He's a Jay. That's why, like when you see
Stolen
interviews,
valor from other Jasons.
yeah, like when you see Julia Louis-Dreyfus talk about him in interviews, she'll be like Jay. Like we love Jay. It's not just a shortening of Jason. It's his real name.
Interesting.
Fun fact.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
Anyway,
If you have enough money, you can find out Jason Alexander's real name. That's what I've learned about Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It's not that they're friends.
What if
Yeah.
What if he's like Rumpelstiltskin, and if you call him by his real name, he loses all of his acting powers or something?
Yeah, maybe.
So he's like trying to flirt with this water girl, and he's like, you gotta get back out there. You gotta start fucking again. All these shows, I will say, it's a pretty horny show for.
I think a lot of the shows we watch are horny because they're written by like 50-year-old TV writers that have recently started suffering from erectile dysfunction and are all pent up and are now putting it on the page.
Yeah, I like the trope of the hot chick who has no idea of how much sexuality she's putting out. Like she doesn't realize that it's weird to have like naked Polaroids of herself,
which is crazy because it's just I'm friends with some hot women and they are all pretty aware of it. They're not aware of all the benefits they get.
Yeah,
they are aware that men are constantly trying to fuck them.
Yeah, I've never met a person who is like unaware of this in the way that appears in these things. Like the foreign exchange student in what am I thinking of?
American Pie.
Yeah, an American Pie who like doesn't. Anyway, I feel like that.
Or not another teen movie.
Or
that's a parody of American Pie.
That's what I was thinking of, actually. That's a great movie. I love that movie.
Not another teen movie. American Pie.
Not another teen movie.
I've actually never seen American Pie.
Me neither.
Have you seen Not Another Teen Movie?
Yeah.
Well, then you get the gist.
Yeah.
But not the jizz.
I'm over here trying to make a classy podcast, dude.
Then why did we pick Bob Patterson?
I didn't pick Bob Patterson.
I picked Bob Patterson.
What are you gonna do about it, fucks?
Yeah,
because I feel like you could be quietly menacing pretty quickly.
Oh yeah,
you do have an NPR voice. Has anyone ever told you?
Oh no, but I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I feel like if you just like were doing like real mean cursing stuff, I'd be like, all right, Gus is in control of the podcast now.
Yeah, what if I took this over?
You fucks.
Yeah, I actually want to talk about. I don't know.
Water girl only.
Water girl. Oh yeah, what was her name? Maria the water. Oh, I like that. He sees her and he's looking at her, and Robert Klein is like, hey, Maria could unblock or could remove your blockage or something.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh yeah.
I actually did like that they made Jason Alexander like actually be able to like do the basic level of flirting.
Right.
Only after he like
he fumbles
regains
at first.
confidence.
Yeah, he goes water or something. That was weird.
It's like, okay, here, watch this. I'll actually try.
Yeah.
And then, he seduces her to go have dinner with her, and then he gets home, and his ex-wife is there, hanging out.
Yep. Just like Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, Jennifer Aspin's there getting fucked by Russell Brand.
She's back, and then she says that she's learned so much, and now she wants to be celibate with him, and he's like, ugh. Well, he says something like, what do I get out of this?
Yeah,
what do I get out of this? You get to fuck this guy named Paolo, and then I come back and get oh, right. She says, in my heart, I was with Paolo, but mentally, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And he's like, ugh, that's the part I get or something? You dumb brain.
They also, at this point, try and have him fuck, or they're like, why don't you hit on your secretary then? That's a classic.
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember when he tries to get, he gets Bob to try and hit on his secretary.
The wheelchair lady?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
No, I think that might have been a different episode.
No. Because what happens is he goes, nah. Why? Because she's disabled? It's like, no, because she's black.
That wasn't about hitting on her.
Yeah, I think that was just...
She comes in and he sees
He's like, they don't like me.
Yeah, no, he sees the new secretary and he's like, oh no.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with hitting on her.
I thought he was hitting on her.
No,
I thought it was,
no.
okay.
No, that joke's just racist.
Yeah, that was so incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When he's like, this isn't going to work because she's in a wheelchair. No, because she's black. And then it's like, where could this possibly go?
That does feel like
and
a
it
joke.
doesn't go anywhere good.
Well, no, it's not what you think immediately. He's like, because black people don't like me for whatever contrived reason he has.
Because of the, all the slurs he keeps throwing their way.
Well, it's not because I don't like black people. They're like, they don't like me, but that's so weird to
That's
even.
such a classic, like, it's a joke I would have written at 21 to be like, you guys think it's about disability, but actually it's about race.
Yeah.
See, that's the twist.
I don't think it even got a laugh in the thing. Like, that's not where they put the laugh.
No.
No, that was a dead studio audience.
Yeah. That was
Yeah, because
weird.
everybody went, we like George Costanza. Is he racist?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also weird to remember with the live studio audience that they don't always laugh when they're supposed to laugh. So sometimes they'll like cut, there'll be a big laugh and then somebody will say one more thing and nobody laughs and then they just cut and move on. It's like you couldn't have edited that.
No.
You
I
need
guess
it for
not.
time.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, his wife is like, by the way, also, yeah, since I'm celibate now, we're just going to hang out and live together. And he's like, nope, kick you out. You're the worst. I hate you. Then he writes 25 pages for no reason immediately.
Because she comes back to the office to try to talk to him and he's like, and then there's
John Tesh also comes to the office to try to talk to him.
Right. And then he finds out that that's the best he's ever done, best writing he's ever done. And then he has this realization like, oh, I need her in my life because her challenges inspire me to write good motivating speeches or
So
something.
just stay friends. You don't have to be married to her.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
there's a million like ways to do that where it's not like, oh, now I have to live with my wife,
Yeah.
my ex-wife who abandoned me.
I do like that idea as like a jumping off point though, that like that's what a motivational speaker needs is adversity because he has to like live his own mantras and stuff. I think that could have been interesting.
Well, it's like how like famous people who got famous super young often stay religious because they've been like, well, it works. I believe in God and I got everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
So why would I ever do a different system?
Yeah.
And in fact, anytime it's not doing that.
Yeah.
And so like you need someone who's been like, yeah, shit's tough out there.
Yeah.
They don't really do that with him.
No. Well, I mean, admittedly, I didn't watch the episodes that came right after that episode. I skipped to the one that you guys told me to watch.
Which is a smart decision.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
watching more episodes of Bob Patterson would have been a net positive. On
Did you guys
it.
watch any of the other ones?
No.
No.
No, we watched one other episode, and
Yeah.
I don't.
Wait, did anything else happen in that one?
The guy comes and builds a bed of nails.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that's a whole thing. He's doing the speech. Oh, Brian George is in it
Brian George?
of Seinfeld fame.
Oh, the
You're a very
Indian
bad
guy?
man,
Oh.
Jerry
Yeah,
Seinfeld. Yeah. Also in fucking Nightman.
You're right. He is in Nightman.
Yeah, Brian
Oh.
George. He's been in a million things. But yeah, I'm sure this was like one of those ones where he's like, easy.
Yeah.
It's funny that they needed an Indian guy to build the bed of nails.
By the way, when the Indian guy, yeah,
Shit.
when the Indian guy shows up, if you want to make that black person joke work, he's supposed to be like, Indian people hate me too.
Right.
Like, make it everybody hates him?
Everybody hates him. Why is he a successful motivational speaker?
yeah.
Well, because
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
likes him from afar. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like a lot of celebrities are likable till you meet them. You know what I mean? That kind of like...
Yeah, like it should be a rule of three at some point, where like some other group comes and he's like, oh, they hate me, and then by the time he gets to the third group, it's ridiculous that group hates him.
Yeah.
Oh, nuns, they hate me.
Yeah.
If you just had... Yeah, if you had a group... If it wasn't just black people.
Yeah,
I expected when what's his name? Brian George, when he came in, that there would be like a studio audience like woo, you know, like seeing a familiar face.
I don't think there was I can't imagine it was a studio audience. Like, I feel like it was canned laughter.
Okay.
That soon
Hard to
after
tell.
9/11?
well, when did they film?
No, I'm sure they
No,
filmed
it must
before.
have been before. Yeah.
What if they were filming on September 11th? And that was just a studio audience trying their best.
Ah. No, I've heard a studio audience trying their best. It's called Regis and Kelly live
Yeah.
September 11th, 2001.
Oh wow.
And Regis is crushing.
He honestly, Regis gets a laugh 3 minutes into 9/11, and it's one of the wildest things I've ever seen.
Oh, I've never seen that.
It's on YouTube. You can watch it. I've watched it probably like 15 times now because there's also a moment where Regis, he was pretty sure it was a terrorist attack because the first plane hit before they went on. But in between them going on, the second plane, or as they're on air, the second plane hits. And Regis goes, you can see on his face, he smiles. He's like, that is just a tragedy. Because he's like, I knew it. I told you, Fox, this was terrorism.
Do you know a similar reaction?
Who?
A TV executive that didn't believe in Bob Patterson. As the ratings came in, he was like, I knew it.
That's funny.
Do you think these guys, the Michael Richards show, and do you think Watching Ellie brags about getting a second season?
Probably.
Wasn't there another one with Julia Louis-Dreyfus? Like The New Adventures of
Old Christine?
Yeah, that was
Christine.
That one did okay.
Like 5
okay.
seasons or something.
Oh, gotcha. That's the one I remember.
And V.
Yeah, why would you remember this?
I actually remembered it from the interview.
You remembered him defending Bob Patterson?
Yeah. It's a great interview.
What is funny is because he had two shows. I think the other one was called like Sit Down, Shut Up or something like that. And that one he won't defend. That one he's like, I can't defend that one. Also, I watched that interview. There's a really funny moment where he's like, so many things went wrong. The critics couldn't love us to save our lives. Also, 9/11. Like he just casually
full on a line from Arrested Development.
Yeah. No, he's talking about things that were weird because he goes, we couldn't buy a good review. Weird. 9/11.
Weird.
Yeah.
But it's like a list of like 5 things, and 9/11 is just in the laundry list. Of, can you believe it?
Yeah. They must have already
add it to the pile.
Yeah. That was a really good interview. Also, didn't they get fucked by the showrunner? They
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had a showrunner assigned to them, and he said he was going to be very hands off, and he was like, you guys do your thing. I'll just relay it to the execs, and then they filmed it, and then he like shit on them to a trade magazine.
To the trade magazine and left the production. And that's how they found out he left the production.
Yeah, it was like, these guys don't know what they're doing. God help them or something. And then they left. And they were like, that guy was shitty.
But he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong,
apparently. Yeah.
But I guess that's also the kind of thing like where if you get it set up that like, hey, by the way, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
And then it's okay.
Yeah.
There's not much you can say from that, I think, is really the issue.
Oh, wait, can we talk about how the episode ends?
Oh, yeah, we have to.
Yeah, where he's in the hospital after.
Oh, yeah, he gets off stage from the bed of nails. He does the speech at the end of the bed of nails. He starts walking off, and he's doing that, like, stilted walk.
Yeah.
He's like, call a hospital.
Because he's got a bunch of nail holes in his back.
Because he didn't do it right.
Well, but there's one of those things where you're looking at the bed of nails and it's like there's a million nails in there. So he's obviously not getting hurt. And then he gets off stage and there's like 8 nail holes in his back as if he were laying on a bed with only 8.
Well, it's like
beds of nails are very safe. I went to a children's museum where you could just lay on one when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. But
well, they're in rows. He has like stripes down. He has like pinstripes down his back.
yeah. You know what that reminded me of? Or not the pinstripes, but weirdly related. Him getting off stage with only 8 holes. You remember the Mentos commercial where the guy is like, he sits on a bench that is just painted white in his suit. And he's like, oh no, I ruined my suit. And then he has a Mentos and he rolls around in it and he comes out with a perfect pinstripe suit.
That's basically what that looks like. Yeah. It was that level of cartoonish too, where it's like, also, I feel like, do people not know? Even in the 2000s, I feel people knew that bed of nails weren't dangerous.
Yeah. That was kind of a crazy.
What kind of creative dry spell are you in when you're writing bed of nails jokes?
Yeah. But wait, so he goes to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he's in the hospital with pinstripe bandages on, face down, and Robert Klein is there. And Bob asks him to scratch his ass. With the thing that it holds the card in a bouquet of flowers, the little plastic thing. And so he takes it and he's like scratching his ass. The podcast listeners can't see me, but he's
really giving it to him.
He's really giving it to him. And then the hot water lady comes in and sees just the back of Robert Klein, like just pumping his fist
into it. I didn't even realize. Yeah, it looks like he's just fisting him. I didn't realize that.
and it's 9/11's fault. No one liked this show, as they do fisting jokes at 8:30 on NBC.
Yeah. And he's like moaning. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's it. Deeper."
Oh, I didn't even. How did I not put together it was a fisting joke?
Well, it may not have been a fit. It could have been. He could have been fingering him.
There's no may not have been. It was a full on in prime time. They aired commercials for insurance directly after that.
Yeah.
Prolapsed asshole, get our health insurance.
Yeah.
That was how it ended.
Yep. And then that's how it ends. So the next episode, Awards Bob.
Words, Bob.
which was picked kind of arbitrarily.
Yeah, I looked and I was like, I didn't want to do the one about the bathrooms.
To be clear, they've only bothered to rate the pilot on IMDb. No
Yeah.
other episodes have any ratings, so we just got to pick one.
Yeah.
And I figured an award show is fun.
It's got William Shatner.
Yeah, actively trying to act.
I
He
thought
is an
did
actor.
pretty well.
Yeah, sort of.
I enjoyed his.
He's not like a great actor though. He always just kind of plays himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a better singer. You're right.
He's signing books and he's kissing everyone. Like
Yeah.
he kisses the first lady. Like, I'm so glad our paths crossed.
Which doesn't come back. They set up so many things and don't pay them off.
Right.
Like he should do that at the end.
At the end, for sure.
Like he should be kissing Jason Alexander at the end of the episode.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
But he kissed him. He kissed Jason Alexander at the beginning. Like they already did that. Maybe they already thought we already shot our wad with him kissing Jason Alexander.
I feel like, yeah, if he just kisses the first two, like because it's setting up a good three structure joke of it's a person who the context matters for, or
Yeah.
then a person where he's doing the same action without the same context,
Yeah.
and then a completely different context where he does the same action.
Right. Yeah. They should have called it back somehow. I like how the second one was like a fat Korean lady that doesn't speak English. Remember?
Oh no,
Yeah.
that woman's she's in a bunch of stuff. I recognize her.
Oh,
she
really?
also she has her own stand-up comedy special.
What?
I'm not kidding. I've not seen it, but Amy Hill. Yeah.
Oh.
Amy Hill's been in a lot of stuff. She plays the mom in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
100. She's credits over 180 credits and stuff. Yeah, 192. She's been in shit all the time. She doesn't stop.
I just like that was their like, oh, he'll kiss anybody.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, oh, she's Korean? Gross.
I think it was that. Yeah, she was like it's because she's also like she's there for her boss.
She's in
Oh,
a
that's
neck
right.
brace for no reason.
Yeah, she's in a neck brace.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
he kisses everybody. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So that's why it felt like they were setting it up for later.
Right. They should have. Yeah.
Like when he gets the award at the end, he should kiss the injured dwarf
yeah.
and then hurt him further.
Oh, and maim him.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Because that guy's already been through the ringer this whole episode.
Yeah. When he loses the gum in Jason Alexander's mouth, when he kisses him and then Jason Alexander pulls out his gum,
Yeah.
like they've just been French kissing or something.
Yeah, that's a classic joke.
Yeah.
Well, so then they're like, okay, we're gonna win this award. Or Bob's
right.
spying on William Shatner at this event. Classic. Knock over some books.
The book tower was very hastily arranged. by
Wait,
the way.
there is a joke you guys missed out on.
All right.
Oh.
Because he
please.
keeps putting his book in front of William
Shatner's.
Shatner's books.
Yeah.
And his ex-wife was like, whatever you're doing, it's crazy. And then Jason Alexander goes, oh, Ernest Hemingway did this for years to, I can't remember the name.
Hayes Featherstone.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I have never heard of that guy. And
Yeah.
Jason Alexander goes, exactly. And then about a minute later, the credit for the writer of the episode comes up, and it's the name of the guy from that joke.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Put his name into the joke.
Oh.
Pretty self-centered, if you ask me.
Yeah. It's because it was funny. It was like Hayes, something. Hayes Jackson.
Yeah, I suppose it could have been they put in a fake name for that.
Yeah.
Like maybe that wasn't the actual writer of the episode, but I don't know.
Yeah. That was funny. I just think like when he knocks over the books, it's supposed to be this like slapstick, oh, all these books fell, but they were like 4 books stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
It was like they had no time to make a book tower.
I feel like Alexander, he's a lot of energy, but I don't really classify him as like slapstick most of the time.
This is a better role for Michael Richards.
Ah.
Yeah, honestly, as a motivational speaker who
Yeah.
can't, like, it's a lot of big movements, it's a lot of yelling, it's a lot of crazy. Because
Yeah.
a really good motivational speaker, a lot of times, if you actually break down what they're saying, it's nonsense, but they're saying it so passionately, it's so, like, like, they build so heavily.
Yeah.
People go, oh, yeah, this
They
is
turn
this.
into the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, they break through every barrier that's been put in front of them.
The Kool-Aid Man is, in many respects, a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
He achieves his goals. He doesn't let anything stand in his way. He's full of positive affirmations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, that's it. We're teaching Shatner who's boss.
We're gonna win
He
this
kissed
award.
me. I took out gum from his mouth.
Yeah,
We're gonna win this award.
The Modies.
yeah, MOTIE for motivational speaking awards, and
I think it's for the best moat diggers.
Probably not.
That would have been a fun joke to have in there. Just the guys for the Modies be like, just a bunch of Scottish guys being like, "We thought this was for our castle."
Yeah, that would require jokes in the show, though.
There are jokes. There are jokes.
Yeah.
There's watching the woman in the wheelchair try and grab a glass.
Yeah,
And she fake stands.
yeah. I don't think she's disabled. Let's throw a mug at her. I was gonna say the award that they're competing for so ruthlessly is like for an awards show that's like attended by 12 people
Yeah.
at the end. It's in like a conference room with 12 extras, and I know it's obviously budgetary constraints. It's just funny that there's like big people on the thing with them, like Deepak Chopra.
Oh, yeah.
is one of the people. Tim Robbins.
They listed like other famous motivational speakers that were going to come to this 12 person like office space.
As if they were in the room too. But that's later. That's at the end.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. What else happens in there?
So he's
You
Robert.
were kind of talking like the show about it, like you're a disappointed parent towards this show.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Not that I had high hopes. I'm not disappointed. I knew it was going to be bad, obviously, but I'm like sort of hesitant to criticize it because sometimes I would like see a joke and I'd be like, oh, I can see myself writing that joke and being proud of it on the page, and then oh, this is how it would look. Okay, never mind.
Totally. And that's the thing is we're not like most of these writers are probably very good writers. Like there's that's not the issue. It's that issue of like they're putting together a show right after 9/11 that's like that is it's kind of trying to when everybody's like just do Seinfeld again.
Yeah.
But not actually doing anything. They just took all the people from Seinfeld and tried to make them stars.
Yeah.
Instead of making another ensemble show. Which is what made Seinfeld so good. Like Jerry Seinfeld isn't the star of Seinfeld.
Yeah. It's George. But also Seinfeld wasn't good in the pilot, I didn't think. I mean, did you guys...
it wasn't a great...
At least
it
he
was
doesn't
weird.
assault any disabled people.
That's true.
Speaking of which, so second episode. So Robert Klein's like, hey, listen, we tried the high road. Let's go low road. Let's bribe the judges.
There's two key judges.
If we can bribe either one of them,
Yeah.
we'll win.
Yeah.
So he goes
By
up
the way,
to,
the judges are explained to him by a character that's not in the pilot. I don't know who this guy is.
Oh, the intern or whatever.
He's like a 1950s greaser, essentially.
oh yeah, that guy.
He's just in this, working at his office.
Oh, that I did enjoy that joke when he's like the first he's got headshots of them and he puts them up on a corkboard. And he's like, this guy, his son loves baseball, so that's how we're gonna get him. And then this woman, word is she's a sex maniac, and if you give her what she wants, you'll get what you need. And then you can see Bob's face, like, oh, I might have to fuck a lady. And then he puts the picture up, and it's like an old
60-year-old woman.
It's like an 80-year-old woman. That was kind of a funny gag.
I knew when they put it up, it was going to be someone undesirable, and in my mind, it was going to be a picture of Jason Alexander in a wig.
That would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been much better. Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah.
Also bad. It would not have worked at all. Just like the idea of like him then trying to seduce himself in a wig, or
No, it just there wouldn't be a scene of him trying to seduce himself.
well, they could have. They got special effects. Like
Martin
The
Landau
Matrix
fucking the Jason Alexander just making like high pitched noises with a wig.
Yeah.
But wait, can we talk about the? So we're jumping ahead here. I
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's fine to talk about. Like, I just want to jump in between episodes because then it's hard for people to follow.
Right.
Not that this is for that.
Yeah, within the episode. So spoiler alert, it doesn't work out with the first judge, so he has to try to seduce this old woman, and it turns out she's unattracted to him, but she's attracted to Robert Klein, and so he gets like pulled into the room to have sex with her, and he's like, oh no, and he does it and secures the award. But I feel like it's like at a certain point you're like, wait, Robert Klein isn't a young man. He's not that much younger than this woman who's supposed to be 80 but probably isn't, is probably like 70. He's probably 60 years old and she's 70 years old, and he's like, whoa, you know?
Yeah. Oh, like he should be more fine with it. But I mean, just talk to a lot of men in their 60s. They're not trying to fuck 70-year-olds.
Right. But it didn't feel like that's what they were trying to say. It felt like Robert Klein's character should have been a much younger man.
They could have had the greaser do it.
They could have had the greaser. Oh, and he wanted to. I think that was kind of the joke.
Yeah.
He was like, "Ooh, lucky guy." Or he said something to that effect.
You're like, ooh.
Yeah.
I'd like to get in those granny panties.
Yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, I just thought that was weird that Robert Klein is just like, I really took one for the team there, having sex with a woman
10 years my senior.
10 years my senior. But yeah, what happens with the first judge?
Oh, so they go to dinner, right?
No, they go to a baseball game.
I thought it was dinner first, but anyway, they go to the baseball game.
Yeah.
And then the kid's like a brat.
Yeah.
Because he's like
Well, he goes with
His son.
Jason Alexander goes with his son.
Okay, yeah.
Who's larger than him.
There's a weird
Taller.
thing. Well, so the judge's son is a dwarf.
Yes.
And Jason Alexander convinces his son to come to the game with him because his son wants to bully a dwarf.
Yep.
But then there's a really weird shot because the son is like, when's this dwarf getting here? And Jason Alexander's like, soon. But when Jason Alexander says that, he's sitting in a chair that's 3 times his size. And he looks like a small man.
That's funny. Yeah. And then the dwarf shows up and he goes, hey, you said this guy would be fat, but I can't see how fat he is because of how bright his big bald head is.
Yeah, chrome dome.
Chrome dome. All the light coming off this chrome dome.
And then Jason Alexander's son loves that guy immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the guy that plays the judge's son, he was in another show we watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in Are You There, Chelsea?
Yeah. Are you there, Chelsea?
Huh.
Playing the Chelsea's little person friends.
Oh, wow.
In fairness, he can kind of only play little people.
Right, but like Chelsea has like a sidekick who is a actual little person, like
Yeah.
who I think recently passed away. Anyway, so that's why he was in the Are You There, Chelsea show. And then this one, it's just played for, isn't it funny, Jason Alexander beating up a disabled person?
Well, he knocks him over a rail on like the upper deck of a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
He catches a foul ball over the
home
dwarf's
run.
head. A what?
A home
run over the guy's head, and then while turning around to gloat to the fans, he bumps him off. And also, I notice now, like when parents witness their children dying or falling off things, like in wacky comedies like this, and they're just like, they just,
Oh, no.
yeah, they're, oh no, what have you done? It always hits me.
Not like crying.
Yeah, not like, or like sprinting down there.
Josh, so it's someone with a kid.
Yeah, right. So I have a 4-year-old. I don't know if I would just like slowly turn for dramatic effect, like, huh?
Well, what if it was Jason Alexander you were with?
Oh, yeah, maybe I would, yeah.
You'd be like, this is the most surreal day of my life. Jason
Yeah.
Alexander has killed my kid.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait a minute, didn't you do this in Bob Patterson?
This is so
You
crazy.
saw it. I'll give you any money you want.
Before that, when they're just sitting there watching the game and the judge's son says to Bob's son, like, hey, watch this, and like takes a mustard thing and like goes like all over his shirt.
Yeah.
That's like a prank. Like, watch this. I'm going to spill mustard on this guy.
Watch this. I'm just going to actively squirt mustard on him. There's
He
nothing
had he had a full bottle of mustard with him.
Yeah.
He sneaked a bottle of mustard into the stadium.
Right. Yeah. You don't just get one from the stand.
No.
This is back in this is pre 9/11 when they would just give you a full mustard
Yeah.
bottle.
Yeah.
You can get the packets, but you can't get a whole bottle.
Yeah.
They
Oh.
probably just took it from the stands. Like
No, they
from,
have packets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just squirt mustard on him. He doesn't do shit, and then he knocks him off the fucking baseball stands.
So he's in the hospital, and then so Bob goes to try to suck up to him or to make
Apologize,
up for it.
yeah.
And William Shatner's already there, feeding him in the hospital, sort of doing the same thing. And then his dad comes back with. Do you remember what he has?
No, what
his
is
gift for his son with a broken body? Oh, his almost adult son. He's got a giant yellow teddy bear from the hospital gift shop.
Oh, his son is an adult. He's the first dwarf to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah, his son is a full-grown adult. So, like, okay, your adult son is bedridden in a hospital. What would cheer him up? A giant teddy bear that's bigger than him. I just think that's really funny. I don't think they meant it to be funny.
Yeah, anything. Well, they did for different reasons. Like as like a giant teddy bear is funny. Like as it's huge. But like, yeah, if your son's over the age of 12, he's probably not interested in a giant teddy bear.
Yeah.
But then Jason Alexander shows up.
Yep.
Tries to give him the baseball.
Right.
And ends up hitting him in the face with it.
Yeah. It was sort of weirdly like a soft throw. Like it wasn't like here you go, bam. It was like boop, and then like
Any throw towards someone that has broken every bone in their body though is a hard throw.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not a lot of light throws happening.
Yeah.
So he's broken every bone in his body and his mouth is wired shut.
Yeah.
But the next day when they present the award, he's feeling good enough to present the award.
That's true. He's like, yeah, he's walking.
His jaw's no longer wired shut.
He is
People
still
could
talking funny though.
People could understand him through the wired shut jaw.
Yeah, the Kanye West of this show.
Yeah. Wait, it's the next day of the award show. Yeah.
No, well, so no, they well then he sleeps. Then Robert Klein sleeps with the woman because he's like, I failed.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did when she's like waiting in his office to fuck him, I guess. And she comes out and she's like, it's awfully cold in there with no underwear. And you can see I think Jason Alexander almost breaks there. Do you remember when
like
she said,
emotionally?
No.
Like, what am I doing?
No. He starts laughing and you can tell he's trying to pass it off like he's grossed out.
Oh,
But he's like turning to Robert Klein and being like,
I don't remember that.
yeah. It's pretty funny.
Good for Jason holding it together. What a pro.
Yeah. Isn't that old lady like a famous old lady?
I didn't.
I
didn't
recognized her
recognize
from. Do you have the
look,
thing?
I'll find out.
No, that's Honest Bob.
Thank you. You don't have to tell me which episode's which. Actually, if you could not look at the screen, that would be great. Because I notice it's distracting for
Yeah,
people.
it is.
But I'm trying to do this as casually as possible.
Right,
we don't
there's
have a
no
we
screen.
don't have a producer to hire. For
I
this.
see. Yeah.
So I have to also do the.
You guys should have a fake producer or like an intern that you like. Hey Jimmy, like.
Oh yeah, he's right over there.
Yeah.
Everybody say hi to Jimmy.
Hey Jimmy, can you pull this up? Yeah, that she's like.
Frances Bay.
Was she Adam Sandler's grandma in like
Happy Gilmore.
Happy
she's the
Gilmore.
grandma in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Any relation to Michael?
Michael
Bay.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Doesn't say. Oh, she debuted at 59.
Huh.
So yeah, she died at 92. Like, yeah, she's David Lynch cast her.
In what?
Blue Velvet.
Oh wow.
Who is
Yeah,
she,
she's
Blue
Kyle
Velvet?
MacLachlan's aunt.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Yeah, she was around. She did 180 things. Wow, she died in 2011. Had stuff coming out. Oh no, it's Twin Peaks: The Missing Pieces and the Lost Footage.
Okay.
But yeah, she was in Twin Peaks. Yeah, that lady killing it. And now is dead. She can't be in the sequel of it
For when they reboot Bob Patterson.
or Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah, good point.
It doesn't see. Oh, it doesn't look. Oh, she was in one episode of Bob Patterson. It does not look like she was in Twin Peaks.
Yeah. So right. Yeah. He fucks the old lady. Ward show comes out. He makes a joke about Bob Patterson. Oh,
Yeah.
it was easy for me to. You know why it was so easy for me to climb Mount Everest? Because I was being chased by Bob Patterson.
And I'm like, who is this guy's writers?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he does a bunch of jokes on him and stuff, and it's like, I hate this guy. Anyway, here's the awards for best motivational speaker. And then he reads out everybody's name, and it is like,
Only 4 nominees. Generally 5 is the standard.
was it only 4?
It's only 4.
Huh. They couldn't think of another famous motivational speaker.
Make one up.
Gandhi
Yeah.
had died already.
Yeah.
They were like, we can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, they really read it. It's Bob's expecting him because he's rigged it, and it's not him. It's William Shatner. So Jason Alexander goes up on stage and then just starts fucking with him.
No, he's convinced that
Yeah, he's lying.
the guy, read the wrong name intentionally because he was mad.
Yeah. He wrestles him off stage.
Does he throw him off stage?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he throws him into a table, and then he reads the thing, and he was wrong, and now he's humiliated. And does it just end?
No, we find out that the reason he lost was because they slept with the wrong woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's her
It
granddaughter.
was her
who
granddaughter.
is
And then they
hot.
cut to a shot of her hot granddaughter with Shatner with his arm around her.
Yep. And then wait, is it? If I remember correctly, they just kind of cut the episode, like the way the episode ends is like it's just that, and then you can say some character like opens their mouth, and then
Yeah.
It just like cuts as
It's
if
just a freeze. Yeah.
yeah, as if who's ever like recording this to put it on YouTube is like, that's enough.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah.
Maybe that redeems the whole thing, whatever they cut out.
Yeah.
And I think we got it. I think we got most of Bob Patterson as a concept.
And I have to say, I think the other episode is a weaker output than the pilot.
Yeah,
Weaker,
I think
yeah.
the pilot's stronger
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I reckon
I don't
so.
think either are particularly strong. But
No.
also, I feel like that's a show, though, because here's the thing we don't know about, you guys didn't know about the show. Bob Patterson, Jason Alexander uses a character that's basically Bob Patterson for live shows now as a bit.
People go see Jason Alexander live?
Well, like for like events and stuff. Yeah, Jason Alexander gets hired to go out and be,
Wait,
because people are excited to
Is
see
that
him.
current though? Is that
Yeah,
or he
it-
just used to?
Donnie Clay, America's #4 self-help guru.
Hmm.
So Donnie Clay, by the way, it gets, the thing is, Bob Patterson as an idea is not a bad idea. Self-help guru can't do it.
Yeah.
He's always downtrodden, funny. There's a lot there, but it's just one of those things where it needed a second season or any time slot or anything to like make it like a thing where people could actually watch it, as opposed to this weird like thing where it's like it happened for a month.
Yeah. Wow.
What a month it was, though.
Yeah. Was it?
October 2001?
It was
Yeah.
actually a pretty
Yeah.
impressive month. Yeah, he was doing it as of 2015.
I will say, though, the fact that it aired in October means that it is possible that at least one kid dressed as Bob Patterson for Halloween. One very weird, lonely kid. When their mom and dad said, "What do you want to be for Halloween?"
Bob
Said Bob
Patterson.
Patterson.
Wow.
Yeah, you can book Jason Alexander as Donnie Clay.
Do you know what I was for Halloween in 2001?
What?
I was McCovey Cove, the body of water outside the San Francisco Giants stadium that baseballs get hit into. Because that
How
was the
did-
season Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs. And my
Wow.
poor mom struggled for a while to try to figure out how to make me a body of water.
How did
She ended up getting a blue sweatshirt and sewed toy boats to it. Because all the boats were there trying to catch the baseballs. And then I
that's
got a
funny.
big baseball mask like I was a baseball flying into the
Wow.
There you
flying
go.
into the cove, yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's weirder than being Bob Patterson.
Yeah.
Around the time I was on Electric Bill one year.
An electric bill?
Yeah, like a funny electric bill.
Okay, finding out that the costumes you and I had, some kid was definitely Bob Patterson.
Because it's a big poster board. It's like you owe me electric or something. Like, yeah, I won best costume at Kahunaville.
Oh,
Yeah.
and they were known for being very particular about the costumes they chose.
Oh, I was a child. I was also with the, I won funniest costume.
I think we should probably give some context for non-Delaware listeners about
Kahunaville.
Kahunaville.
It was a weird. What is it? It's like
It was
a Dave
all
and
big-
Buster's.
Yeah, but Hawaiian themed and it had a giant fake volcano out front.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's now gone.
Wow.
It's lost to the wreckage.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you change about the show? What would you improve?
What I would change about the show is explain to Jason Alexander that he already had enough money. He didn't need to do this. Maybe bide your time, wait for a better project. I get that you like the concept, but the execution is not there and you're not the right guy for the role.
Mm.
I feel like he could be a hapless motivational speaker. I think he's the right guy for this kind of role.
I think Michael Richards would have done it better. And that's why I'm recommending the Michael Richards show. No,
Oh God, yeah.
God, what would I recommend otherwise?
Another McDonald's commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go check
Yeah.
out other
Check out McDonald's. No, check out
that
Live
part
at
of
the
pr-
Improv from the early 90s,
Oh,
which was
God.
a stand-up showcase show. And you can see a lot of really good comics early on in their career, but you can also see Jason Alexander trying his hand at stand-up and doing a lot of rape jokes.
Huh.
His set is not good.
Yeah,
you can see some good sets in that.
it's a lot about Pretty Woman,
Yeah.
but not in the right way.
Oh, wait. Have you heard, do you know Dana Gould?
Yeah, I
Not
love Dana
personally,
Gould.
but yeah.
Yeah. I've his clips on Instagram are so funny. The one where he asked the audience, like, what's your favorite horror movie? And he goes, mine's Pretty Woman. Oh, you thought I said horror movie.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I love that guy.
So how would you improve the show, and what would you recommend?
I feel like the concept is good, and I feel like he could have done it. I would maybe like not put Robert Klein in the role of his manager. I felt like he was kind of like weird and angry, and old and like overpowering. I mean, I've heard he's like an amazing stand-up. No,
Robert Klein's
no
like a very
disrespect.
funny comic.
Right, yeah, no disrespect. It was just a weird combo with like, because Jason Alexander is already kind of high energy and like frenetic, and then he, Robert Klein is like yelling. If they, I don't know, maybe picked like sort of more of a goober,
Like a more mellow guy, like a mellow weirdo.
Like a Jerry Seinfeld.
yeah.
And then maybe it was
something like that.
X-Wife played by Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah,
Honestly,
maybe
you
that's-
say that like, and literally, if Michael Richards hadn't said the N-word as much as he had, there would have been a Seinfeld like reunion thing.
there kind of was on
The
Curb.
Curb,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I meant there would have been like there might have just been another show where they're all in it.
Yeah. Wait, do
and
I
then
also say what?
You
You can
recommend
recommend a show.
just any
Oh
show?
yeah. Well, while we were talking about this, I was remembering that documentary about the Dana Carvey show. Do you know what I'm talking about? Too Funny to Fail,
Yeah.
where they go over like this doomed another canceled in the first season, didn't even get to make the whole thing show, the Dana Carvey show,
Mhm.
which similar, was also like a breakout star. Yeah, like Dana Carvey was huge
From
and
SNL.
from
yeah.
SNL, and it was supposed to do well, and in every way it didn't. And
But was it funny? I thought it was like still a good show.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the nice thing about that documentary, they have like people on there who remembered it from the time that loved it, like Bill Hader apparently, and hearing him talk about how funny it was is really heartwarming.
Yeah, we're not really getting a lot of Bill Hader on the legacy of Bob Patterson.
Yeah, I don't think you could make that about Bob Patterson.
For all we know, he was Bob Patterson for Halloween. Who knows?
Yeah, if anybody, Bill Hader would have done it.
I didn't want everybody to talk to me. I just wanted to be right here.
Yeah, but if you want to watch
Be a bald salesman, motivate people.
yeah, if you want to watch people from the show like take apart a show that they loved and why it wasn't funny, I think that's a good one. Too Funny to Fail.
Oh, that's a great choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd give this show a second season to figure it out. Because I think we're just watching. I think the bones are good. And like, you just literally needed more time to like get like Jason Alexander from being like because him as a lead is a very different animal. Like he's like a weird character actor guy. So if you want him as the lead, you either have to make him so unhinged, I think, or like the balance wasn't right yet. They were trying to make him more normal while everything's chaotic around him. And I think he's the third best motivational speaker. He would be an insane person.
Yeah.
Like those aren't people who like not even have it all together, but those are like truly insane people. Their whole thing is in belief and inspiring millions of people who can't do the thing that they think they need to do, that they could possibly do it if they just tried a little harder.
Yeah.
And that's an insane person job. Anyway, I'd recommend the Larry Sanders Show.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Because that's a great version of honestly, it feels similar. Like it's not the same, but it is that same. Like this show feels behind the scenes. Very much so. And like, it's like, oh, that's like you have a neurotic host with like, you have a more low key. That's actually what made me think of it is like, oh yeah, like Jeffrey Tambor in that role is so low key comparatively. Because he can just play undercutting and stuff and like although I guess they split up the role. Like he's doing Robert Klein kind of doing Rip Torn and Jeffrey Tambor in the Larry Sanders Show.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's like the manager, but he's also like the station manager too.
Okay.
Also, yeah, they're side characters. Like they have the one girl in the wheelchair, but everybody else kind of just doesn't stand out at all. They're just kind of nothing characters.
Well, one guy was a greaser.
Yeah.
Sure, hypothetically.
Well, I think it's time to end this podcast prematurely as well.
Damn.